stopping in Arad, and walking in the wadi bed. And my name is in Evan Shoshan. Look it up.
Very quick pause. Are you sure pressing this button is going to record you? Because it doesn't seem like it is.
Is it not decreasing in time?
Oh, it is? Oh, it is. Yeah. Okay, you are filmed.
Good. Okay.
It's okay, I'm not very bright.
All right. So this is for Pasternak. He wrote a poem called You're Here that I really like. It's called Scrapbook of Kiev. Pasternak, you make me think green Kiev. I see it wake from its sleep, the Dnieper and creeks and ditches. Who breathes the self-same air, and whose presence made you sketch the city as a stand of poplar, the complaint book? You build a city of lazy sunbeams wrapped in a brick collar, a catalog of sweating leaves in a green skin. The river writes a chronicle, your A to Z scrapbook, filled with someone's nearness, hastily inscribed at daybreak. I hear the voice of Kiev. The Ukrainian landscape looks out from your words and the scent of my great-grandmother's baking. The pulse of the trees, the water, the sunbeams that flicker outside the window lure me to imagine your Ukraine, not your Russia that pruned your words and urged you to give back the Nobel Prize, that American literary prank. Geneva wouldn't take it back, though you couldn't make the awards ceremony and kept your pride in it cloaked. I want to write the nearness of your words here, to crack the rebus of your city, take it apart and build it back. I used to live in Arad for a year, so this is if Arad exists. When a train stops in Arad, which it never did, but say it does, streams mumble underground and wadis unfold in all directions. Every street sign vanishes into soft signs of earth and weeds. I call by other names from Bedouin folklore, thistle lances. Walk into the wadi, sand hills climbing on all sides, salt rivers cascade down with every step, turning me to sodium like themselves. A stray acacia embeds itself under my skin, images visible and unseen, rivers that feed its underground channels. The army firing range on one side lies silent as night falls, concealing sharp drops just steps beyond the dark path's subtle contours. I was never lost in Arad, while its limits drew shifting maps in the waiting desert, erasing the imprint of my footsteps. Fogs breathe aloud, starch-white joy hovering over the amber sands. I write the scent of morning into a series of Arad poems. Oh, to go to Arad, where the dotted line of a roe deer bursts into the streets where Amos Oz pens his Jerusalem novels. Oh, to leave in haste for Arad, before the last Beersheba bus. The rain peals its encores over and over on summer-scorched hills, but only if Arad exists. I resurrect the cooking school's absorption center location, bring back the Argentinians, the steak grills smoking through the jasmine-scented air, the giant moths, the porcupines crossing the sidewalk, the flatness of their penknife spines. There was too much of Arad. I looked out on its boundless limits. The Tel Arad temple, a cutout of holy Jerusalem. It isn't Lvov, with thickets of burdock, fresh cream, and raspberries, though the odd pole may brim over with Fredros and Brzezowskis. There was too much of Arad, the shuk with Arabic coffee mills revolving by themselves, my feet cold on absorption center floors. There was too much of Arad, the cacti spread littered like soft ferns, acacia trees' voluptuous dresses, casting me small mercies from the constant sun. Just go to Arad, where stands of palm trees tremble in desert winds, and all roads lead to waiting wadis. I've been studying Arabic since last summer, so this is a poem for the letter Qaf from the Bear Dictionary of Modern Written Arabic, page 864. Enter the hazards of the dictionary of Mr. Vere, where I found several times, while looking for khayr or good, by accident the word huwar, to low or moo. Welcome kabj, a kind of partridge, and kawun, mussel, and cantaloupe. Perhaps can put on a kawuk, a kind of high headgear made of felt, like a Viking on Purim with a pink stick sword, or a kais, broad leather strap or belt. And you can always hide in a kuba, cupola, or dome, a memorial shrine, but not in Kubat al-Islam, the city of Basra, but in Kubat al-Sakra, the Dome of the Rock, or in Kubat Milhiyah, a dome of salt. Straighten your kaba, collar of a garment, and just pretend that the verb kabba, not to be confused with the kaba, different letter, means only to straighten up, become erect, to ascend, not to chop off, to cut off. Have some kubbar, tapers, because now we get on to kabaha, ugliness, and what could be akba, uglier, more intimate, and kubahalahu, shame on him who invented them and brought them into your partridge and cantaloupe world. Just kabuha, to be repugnant, or in the second stem, kabbuha, to make ugly your fruit and bird lives. Is it any wonder if you istakbuha, 10th stem, find ugly or disapprove of these kabith, ugly, repulsive words? Perhaps you can kubara, bury, inter, entomb them in a faraway kabr, a grave, in a forgotten makbar, a tomb, and return to your partridge and cantaloupe ways. This is the last one. One of my poetry classmates writes about a character named Kaplinsky who flees Israel and goes to Germany and collects his insurance, and so I wrote another poem about it. This is Kaplinsky speaks about himself in the third person. Kaplinsky really wants a bite of that flaky, warm apfelstrudel that the woman sitting next to him is eating. She looks so serious and German, though her name is Tasha, and her family arrived from Dnepropetrovsk. The city gets its own line because its name is Dnepropetrovsk. Tasha doesn't get her own line, but she does get her own pastry. So Kaplinsky wants the apples and cinnamon she's eating now. He also wants to tell these people at the other tables with their soft-spoken German and their soft accents that Tasha is with him, but he thinks if he puts his arm around her or the pastry, she might hit him with the newspaper she isn't really reading.